Friday night, two coworkers walk past you. Aaron just closed on a $400,000 house. He won't stop showing photos. Marcus signed an apartment lease. He's quiet. Same paycheck, same Friday, same Sunday night math hovering in both their heads. Two paths just split. The bank approved Aaron at $400K, approved Marcus too. Marcus walked. Why? Because Aaron sees $23.29 a month. Marcus did the math. The bank doesn't show. Real cost, $3,500, maybe $4,000. Six numbers the bank never adds up out loud. Everyone cited. I'm Frank Daly right now. Subscribe and tomorrow's math finds you. $400K house, $350 mortgage, 7%, 30 years. Watch what the headline payment hides. The mortgage calculator spits back $23.29 a month. Aaron pulled the same number on his phone at lunch. It sounds manageable. It is not what he pays. First month of Aaron's mortgage, $2,042 goes to the bank as interest. $287 goes to him as equity. That's the actual transaction. The first 5 years run almost identical. 90 cents of every dollar he pays, bank, 10 cents, Aaron. The principal barely moves until year 5. Now add what the headline doesn't include. Property tax on a $400K house, about $400 a month in mid-tax states, $500 in Illinois or New Jersey. Homeowners insurance, national average $2,377 a year per the Insurance Information Institute, $200 a month maintenance. Harvard's Housing Center says 1% of value annually, $333 a month. And PMI because Aaron only put $50K down, $250 a month. Add it all. $23.29 plus $400 plus $200 plus $333 plus $250, $512, up to $4,000 if the tax is high. 3 hours with Fred, an amortization calculator, and the tax foundation. Every number's in the description. Tap a timestamp if you don't trust me. That's the whole point. So where does that hidden $1,100 a month actually go? 4 places. Not one of them builds a dollar of equity. First, property tax. $400 a month. As long as Aaron owns this house, he pays it. Stop paying. The county takes the house. He never actually owns it. He rents it from the county. Second, insurance, $200 a month, and it reprices every single renewal. Claim history, weather risk in his zip code, premiums in coastal states up 40% in 5 years. Third, maintenance. The HVAC dies on a Tuesday, the roof leaks in March. $333 monthly is the smooth average. The reality is zero some years, $12,000 the next. Fourth, PMI, $250 a month. Money Aaron pays for the privilege of borrowing more than the bank thinks he can afford. He pays it, the bank keeps it. Zero equity gained. Year 1, total housing cost, $42,000. Equity gained, $3,400. He paid $42K to own $3,400 more of the house. And here's the part the assessor counts on. Roughly 40% of U.S. properties are overassessed for tax. Homeowners write checks for legally incorrect amounts every year and never contest them. If Aaron's car converted 10% of its gas into forward motion, he'd call it broken and tow it back. His house converts 10% of his payments into equity. Same ratio, different label. We call this one the American dream. So the headline says $23.29. Reality says $3,500. The gap between $1,170 and $1,700 a month. Hidden in plain sight on the closing disclosure. Nobody reads twice. Year 1, $287 to principal, $2,042 to the bank. The whole first year in one line. Same Friday paycheck? Now run Marcus's math. The math the bank doesn't show. Different game starts here. Marcus rents for $2,000 a month. Aaron's true cost, $4,000 at the high end. The gap, $2,000 a month. Marcus takes that difference and does one boring thing with it. Drop the number you've been afraid to run on your own spreadsheet. The rent you pay versus the real total of the house you've been eyeing. Most upvoted comment becomes tomorrow's video. Marcus puts that $2,000 a month into an S&P 500 index fund. Boring, automated. Every month. No granite countertops to show off at lunch. One number matters here. 7% real return. That's 1928 through 2024. Per Damodaran at NYU. Not 10%. 10 is nominal. Inflation eats half of it. Open the link in the description and check the same dataset every pension fund uses. Marcus's $2,000 a month at 7% real over 30 years. Compound formula, future value of an annuity. Watch the number. $2.4 million in Marcus's index account. Liquid. He can spend it on groceries Friday. He doesn't need anyone's permission, and he doesn't have to find a buyer first. What about Aaron? His $400K house at 3% appreciation, the Case-Shiller historical national average over 30 years. Math says 970,000, but that 970 is gross. He paid the bank 488,000 in interest, 150K in maintenance, 144K in property taxes. 970 minus 488 minus 150 minus 144. Aaron's actual net after 30 years, 188,000. Optimistic version, 340. Less than the down payment plus the maintenance bills combined. Marcus, 2.4 million liquid. Aaron, 340 trapped in walls. Marcus wins by a factor of 7. And here's where it stops being about one house, because the math is only half the trap. The life damage is the rest. Meet the dual income upper middle, 180K household, bought the 400K house on paper, living the dream. Take home $11,250 a month, after taxes, 401K, and health insurance. That's BLS Consumer Expenditure Survey numbers. Real money on the kitchen table. Housing all in $3,200. 2 cars to commute to the jobs that pay for the house, $850. Car insurance, $280. Gas, $350. Student loans, $750. Daycare for 1 kid, $1,400, because both parents have to work to afford the house. The house demanded both incomes the day they signed. Groceries, $900. Utilities, $520. Phones, internet, electricity, water. The bigger the house, the bigger this number too. Add the outgoing stack, $8,250 a month before anything fun, anything broken, anything saved, against $11,250 coming in. $2,750 left for everything else: clothes, doctor copays, the occasional pretend you have a life dinner, saving for the kids' college not happening, vacation that isn't someone's couch, maybe every 3rd year. If nothing breaks, something always breaks. The HVAC died last May, $6,000. The emergency fund they spent 2 years building, gone in one afternoon. They're starting over from zero. They make double the median household income. They feel broke because they functionally are. $60,000 in equity after 5 years, $80,000 in interest paid to get it. The bank made $20,000. The family made -$20,000. Quick pause. The math doesn't negotiate, but the next topic does, and it lives in the comments. Subscribe daily right now. Tomorrow's number lands the moment you wake up. Now, every counter-argument you're about to type, there are 5. Let's run all 5 with numbers. 1. My parents' house quadrupled. Sure. Theirs went from 90K in 1985 to 400K in 2025. That's 3.5% a year. S&P 500, same window, 7% real. The house lost by half. 2. Renting is throwing money away. Aaron threw $488,000 to the bank in interest, $150K into maintenance, $144 into taxes. Rent is honest about what it costs. Buying throws money in 4 directions while smiling. 3. A house is forced savings discipline. True. So is a 401K with auto debit. The 401K is liquid. The house is not. Pick the discipline that doesn't lock the door behind you. 4. The tax deductions. After the 2017 tax law, 90% of homeowners take the standard deduction. The mortgage interest write-off is irrelevant for most of them. IRS data, 10 years running. 5. Equity feels like wealth. It is theoretical wealth. You can't buy groceries with equity. To touch it, you sell the house. That means moving, or you borrow against it. That means going back into debt. Equity is wealth that exists only when nobody's looking at it. The moment you try to spend it, you're either moving or borrowing. That's not wealth. That's a story you tell yourself at the kitchen table. And the one honest case for buying the 10-year rule? Buy if you're staying 10 years minimum. Below that, the transaction costs alone eat the gain. 5% to sell, 2 to buy, 7% gone before appreciation even starts. One catch on Marcus's side, too. He has to actually invest the $2,000. If he spends it on DoorDash and impulse buys, the whole math collapses. Honesty cuts both ways. That's the only honest argument left for the house. It's a savings account you can't raid at 2 a.m. when you want a jet ski. Forced discipline. But the 401k plus auto debit gives you that and stays liquid. $60,000 in equity, and one word that ends the argument: illiquid. So if the math is this clear, why does it keep working on smart people? Samuelson and Zeckhauser, 1988. Status quo bias in decision-making. 6,200 citations, documented finding. People stay with the default even when the alternative objectively wins. And the default in America has been buy for 60 years. Parents bought sitcoms, put families in houses. Movies end with someone walking up to their own front porch. Buy is the cached answer before you ever open Zillow. Switching to rent and invest, the difference feels like rejecting adulthood, not because the math is bad, because the default got installed before you were ever allowed to run the math. Richard Thaler, 1980. The endowment effect. 8,400 citations. Documented finding. Once you own a thing, you value it more than the identical thing you don't own. Once Aaron signs the house is his, he'll defend it against the math, he'll find reasons to stay. The endowment effect locks the door from the inside. Not bad faith, just biology. Combine them. Status quo plus endowment, two forces holding the trap shut. The math screams, the bias whispers back, but it's yours now. And one structural thing nobody's discipline can fix. In 1985, the median house cost 3 times the median income. In 2025, it's 8 times. Wages stalled, prices ballooned. The trap got tighter, not your willpower weaker. Cap housing at 28% of gross, below the bank's 43. That's where the math doesn't drown you. Remember Marcus walking out of the leasing office Friday night? Quiet. No photos to share at lunch, no granite countertops to show off. If you said no to the approved mortgage and you want the affordability math from the inside, there's a video where we ran exactly who can actually afford the 400 and the 500K house. That's the one to watch next. Link in the description. 30 years from now, Marcus has 2.4 million liquid. Aaron has a house and a story he can't sell without moving out of it. Both ended up with something. Only one ended up with options. Real wealth. The kind the data actually describes is the math working quietly in the background while you do something else. Garden, read, watch the kids, whatever your Tuesday afternoon is. The rent and invest path doesn't promise a mansion, doesn't promise the lake house, it promises Tuesday afternoons that belong to you, and a number you can spend without asking permission. Compare it to the alternative. You chase the 400K house, lock in both incomes, kill the margin, and call it living the dream, while functionally broke. The house won, the life didn't. This is the whole reason a single monthly payment is the wrong frame. It hides the tax, hides the maintenance, hides the opportunity cost, hides the life you traded for the address. Marcus isn't richer because he's smarter. He's richer because he ran the second number, the one the bank never puts on the approval letter. The approved mortgage is a permission slip life. Someone else decided what you could carry and you signed. The honest cap is the one you write before you ever walk in. If this helped, like it. Comment the number you're going to run tonight. Subscribe daily right now. Tomorrow's math lands the moment you wake up. 3 numbers if you remember nothing else. Run them at the kitchen table tonight. Same Sunday night math that started this. Number 1, 2329 versus 3500. The gap between the payment they advertise and the cost you actually carry. 1,100 a month, hidden. Number 2, 2.4 million versus 340,000. Liquid versus locked. Same Friday paycheck, 30 years apart. Marcus wins by factor 7. Number 3, 10%. That's how much of your first year's payments actually build equity. Run the spreadsheet tonight. Column A, your rent plus the difference you'd invest. Column B, the real monthly of the house. Run it 20 years. Pick the bigger number. The bank approves what won't default. You approve what won't drown you. Those are different numbers, and the bank never runs the second one. That's your math now. I'm Frank. Math doesn't negotiate. Don't try.